All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and make this heart cam that is right here, okay? So take a moment, write down that geometry, and that'll help you out. I'm going to get started now. File, new, standard, millimeter, IPT. Okie dokie. We're going to start a 2D sketch, and we're going to put that on top of that plane, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to make a circle. Well, first off, I'm going to make my parameter. So let's go over here to manage, parameters. Come on, keep up with me. And this time, to make life easier, I'm just going to call this DIA for diameter. I want that to be 40 millimeters. Done. All right, now, coming back to my sketch tab, I'm going to use my circle tool to create kind of an overall shape in order to govern most of what we're going to do, okay? Now, I need to drop 3 points in here, and we're going to dimension those into the right spot. We're going to constrain those into the right spot. So first off, I'm going to do a vertical constraint between here and here. And now I'm going to do a dimensional constraint between the center and that point. But only I want that to be the equation of 9 times diameter, and then that should be in parentheses, and then I'm going to go ahead and divide by 20 because that puts that point in the right spot. Next up, we're going to go ahead and dimension this one over. So I'm going to do from here, from here to there. All right, and that's going to be, let's see, D over 5. Diameter over 5. Enter. And then I'm going to do a vertical of diameter over 8. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Diameter over 5, and then diameter over 8. All right, so now I've got those parametrically mapped out where those are supposed to go. Now I'm going to grab my circle tool, and first off, I'm going to make this bottom one, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that out a little bit and then call it diameter over 10. Okay. Next up, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start with my circle on a point, and I'm going to end clicking the circle on the point. Okay. Do the same thing over here. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my line tool, and I'm just going to click on my circle here, and I'm going to go to my circle here. You see how it popped up with that tangent constraint? We want to see that. If it doesn't, we will go ahead and put that on later, okay? Now I'm going to grab my tangent tool, and I'm going to make sure that these are tangent to the circles, okay? And that one I believe is already done. Yep. All right, now, there is one more center that this one is going to be up our roller radius. Okay. So that one is going to be radius, which is half of diameter. So that one can actually just be a fillet. And then we can take this. Actually, I'll put it in a fillet later. Grab my trim tool and start cleaning this up a little bit. Okay, now I've got my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude this, and it doesn't matter that it's bleeding over a little bit. If it's bothering you, you can pull this in if you'd like, but it's not going to bother me at all. I'm going to extrude this to be my, that too. I'm going to extrude that to be my 5 millimeters. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and come over here and fillet this, because if I don't fillet that, that is going to be a problem for me. And so I'm going to say DIA over 2. Does that look right? Looks close enough to being right. You can play with that dimension if you'd like. Now, I need to go ahead and start a 2D sketch on this surface. And I want to go ahead and I want to put a hole in here. Remember, we're using square axles. And our square axle, if you use 0.26 inches by 0.26 inches, that generally gives you enough space to get your block or your axle through there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my initials on there. And emboss those. Finish the sketch, click emboss, click that, inward, boom, done. All right, so that's a parametric heart shape, and honestly, I would make that a little bit deeper if I were going to do this again, but the follower likes to get stuck in there if you do that. So have fun, good luck.